Hi, everybody. It's April 8th, Wednesday, and I'm coming to you from Berlin, Wisconsin.
Welcome to the NicNacKnits podcast.
Yeah, formalities.
this
Formalities.
this is episode 22. I'm Heather, coming to you from Southern California. Nikki.
Has left the building and lost her mind. She's been in the house way too long, guys. Way too long. Where you can find me, Nicci52879 on Ravelry, NicNacKnits on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The email for the podcast is NicNacKnits2018@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Facebook as NicNacKnits.
Mm-hmm. And our Ravelry group is NicNacKnits
NicNacKnits.
podcast. And you can find me on Instagram as Enmmomma, on Ravelry as Enmmomma, and my business account on Instagram is Handmade by H.
And you can find all of the details for all of our knit-alongs and read-alongs and all of that stuff over on the Ravelry group. So, and to win, you have to be a member of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. Other part of our admin, right away, we're going to get into the winners from the cows that had quarterly prizes, and then we had the gnome knit along that ended on March 31st. So we had 12 people who participated in the year long, and me and Heather took care of this before we got on here this morning, and random number picked number 11, which is B-Wing. So Brittany, if you go ahead and get me your information, which I have, I will send you out your package. But let me know that you got this. And as soon as the restrictions have lifted for us to get back out of our homes, I will be mailing your package from the one you won a month ago and this one.
Yeah.
So they'll come all at once. So you'll have a nice big prize. And then my other one to wrap up was the Scrappy Cal for the first quarter. And we had 32 people who participated in that so far. So from April, May, June, so in July, we will pick from 32 on. So make sure you're participating. Because at the end of the year, we will go back and draw one or two
we'll do the whole thread.
Everybody. But this time it was number 8, which was Shirley123. So if you get in contact with me, yes. Is it Shirley Knits or just Shirley123? It's
Shirley Knits 123. Her Instagram is Shirley123.
Okay. Get in contact with us, Shirley. I am going to just do a pattern prize this time because of not being able to get out of the homes and mail you something. So just a $7 pattern or under.
Yeah. And the only other knit along we had we drew for and had a winner for this month was the monthly Get Her Done Cal, and that was I'm not sure how many we drew from. All I wrote down was the winner number, but that was number 11. Oh, we only had 11 and 12, huh?
Correct.
So we did do the random number generator, and we got number 11, Arbor Childs. So please get in contact with me, either Instagram or Rav, and let me know what you would like. We are doing patterns for this as well, $7 or less. So let me know which one you would like, and I'll get that to you as soon as possible. And we didn't have anybody for the first quarter of Stephen West, which,
isn't that surprising?
It's kind of understandable. So I'm not, no shade. I get it. I have one Stephen West on the needles right now, and honestly, in the last 2 weeks, I haven't even touched it. So no shade.
So all those knit-alongs. Okay, let's try that over again. All those knit-alongs, except for the gnome knit-alongs, are still going along. There are year-long ones. We also have one more that was added, and that was Heather's the read along.
Yeah,
so
the
people
thread
have
is
started
up for-
participating in that now.
Yeah, the thread is up for the read along. There is 2 threads. One is for your entries, and just because we are running this for 3 months, I asked that you participate at least 75% or 75 days out of the 90. Because I mean, that's a big chunk of time to ask you guys to participate first time. So at least 75 days out of the 90, and just go in and edit your post, your original post. Excuse me. And with all of your times. And then there's a chatter thread for any enabling, if you know of any sales going on book sites, or any recommendations for books, post them there. We love to know, just like we love yarn, we love to know new books that are coming out. Oh my gosh, before I took a shower, I checked my Libby this morning, and guess what's there?
Did you get A Whole New World?
I got A Whole New World.
And I just finished that this weekend, guys. It's a really good one. So, yeah, I don't know when we're going to talk about the books we're reading. I wrote
probably
that
at the end in
okay.
chatter. I saw that and I was like, borrow now. I have 3 audiobooks on the go, and they're like, need more time or don't have time now? Well, you can let the next person in line get it. I was like, no, I've been waiting for this for 5 weeks. The other ones can go. I'm going to listen to this one.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is all for our admin right now. And we'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. We are back with FOs.
Do you have any?
Take it away.
All right, guys. I have 1, 2. I can't remember if I showed this one, so I'm going to show this one first. This is the Christmas garland that I got off my. So I will just show the great big picture here. And this took me. I finished this 3 weeks ago, right before the last podcast, and I think I forgot it downstairs because I was gluing the ends so that it would stay on there. So, but because I wanted a Victorian tree, I wanted to make my own garland with the pearls and crochet around them, and that little thread is the first thing I've ever done with that. And yeah, it was I don't know. I bought 5 sets of pearls to do that on, and I might just move it to a little tree. Then I did this snowflake here. I still have to starch them, which again, I've never done any of this, but I figured I might want to try some before our snowflake along in July. So I did those 2.
They're cute.
Thanks. And
so
then
they have a solution that's professional starch, or it's it's not really necessarily a starch, but all you would do is just do 1-to-1 ratio with Elmer's glue and water.
Okay. And then I finished I was down here last time you guys saw this, and I finished my Myra hat. And I think I'm going to put a black pom-pom on this one, or a white one.
Is that for you?
I think so. I'm not really sure yet.
I think your first Myra should be for you.
And then I have the Easy Peasy hat that I made back at Christmas time on all the reds. This one is a black one for the same customer. She just decided that she can't wear red all year round, so she wanted a tonal black. And this is out of Arkansas Yarn Co. yarn. On her Yummy base for worsted, and it's cast iron, I think, was the colorway. And then this one was Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. No, not I love this yarn. Soft and sleek, DK. Mm-hmm. And it was in the Pretty and Peacock colorway. And then my last finished object was my Treasure Island. I don't remember exactly how far I was. I think exactly in the middle there. That's where the stitch marker is, but I'm not sure. So I can take that off.
You were last time.
That's where I was.
I think so.
Yeah. So, but now I get to weave in all these ends. There's 28 of them. And then block it. But it was a nice crochet. The designer also has a podcast here on YouTube, The Cozy Cottage. So that is all my finished objects.
You can leave the fringe. It's nice.
Oh, and that was also Arkansas Yarn Co. And that was my Merry and Bright colorway. That was Advent 2018. I was like, not this year. So.
All right, you want to do your hoe real quick before we go on to whips?
Oh, yeah, my half hoe. Forgot about that. So I was working on a pair of boot socks for my mom like 2 years ago, and I just put them away and never touched them again. Last time they were here, and I finished the one. I still have not casted on the second one. So.
What is that yarn?
This is... It's wool. It
Okay.
was it was a mistake by Nature Spun, which is brown sheep, and so they sold this for only $2 a skein because it wasn't up to their color standards. Mm-hmm. So I had bought a bunch of it just to do like this kind of sock, or I did a lot of the remember those clogs that everybody was doing in felting, the house shoes? I did like 6 pairs of those also out of that stuff. So if she washes those socks will be nice and for a baby.
Yeah, right. So. But they'll be really thick and warm. Will. So. Okay, we're gonna pause and be back with the next segment.
Hey everybody, we're back, and now it's time for us to show you some of our whips. And yeah, there's a lot for both of us. There's a lot. I don't remember where I was on this whip. Because I never moved the marker after we recorded last time. So I might have got a bunch done. I might have got barely anything done. I'm not really sure yet. So this is my Pentasta stitch. And I feel like I did all of this and this only since last time.
You were past.
I think I was in the middle of my V's here. Is where I think I was.
For sure you were past, or I know for sure you were in the honeycomb.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can remember. So I'm going to move the marker right now as we're talking about it.
You were not way up there, that's for sure, because I am on the slipped cable one.
Yep. And that's where I had the marker, so.
Yeah, and I remember you being past me.
So I'm moving it now, so we'll remember next time. So go ahead with your first.
So my first whip is a very long-standing whip. Very, very. Like 2 years, very. Ooh, sorry. I decided to get out my sister shawl again. This is from the Cozy Up. The Cozy Up Knits. Yeah, I can't think of what the last. I don't know. Cozy Up Knits. Is that just it? Cozy Up Knits. I thought it was Cozy Up Knits podcast or something like that. So this was their 2018 mystery knit along. It's the sister shawl. It's ginormous. I got to here, the middle, with them. I did this whole thing with the knit along, and then when they said, okay, now do the same thing on the other side, I said, what? No, and put it away. I tried to convince our friends to let me end it here. Most of them said, no, you won't, you'll regret it, you won't like it, blah, blah. So I didn't. I just put it in the bag for 2 years, and I picked it up. I mean, I had picked it up here and there, but like, yes, yesterday? Not yesterday.
No, I think it was like 2 days ago.
Monday, I think. I picked it up and worked on it for real, and I was here where this little Cookie Monster donut is when I picked it up, and now I'm all the way up here. So I've done essentially one whole section, the eyelet section, and I'm ready. I'm doing my fade between my variegated pink and my solid pink to do the lazy zags again.
So
And then all I have to do is decreases.
And this was the year that we met, and look at these colors and how close they are to each other.
Yeah. We didn't meet when this was going on.
No, we met right after.
We met we met that May. Yep. But yeah, so I picked my colors. Nicci picked her colors, completely not knowing that we would become friends. And I can't get rid of her.
Somebody else is trying to steal that from you.
Yeah, Kim thinks she's gonna get it, but I'm sorry. That's a hell of a lot of knitting. It's a hell of a lot of yarn. I love her.
I love you, but I don't know if I love you that much.
I don't know.
It's a lot of knitting. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I decided to pull back out my boxy.
Yeah, what I'm doing.
And I'm holding mine with fingering and mohair that my husband got me my first birthday after I started knitting. So I was right here, and I knit up to here. It is going to be so warm. And the boxy, if you didn't know, is Joji Locatelli pattern. I'm doing the worsted version, and I'm loving it, but it's warm. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stitches on the needles.
Yeah.
The only reason why so much stuff for me has been worked on is because during through everything going on right now, which we're not gonna go into detail, but you live here, you know what's going on in the world. I've just been spinning my wheel every couple hours when I get bored to keep my mind occupied in switching projects. So this is the tonal. There, you can see it there. Mohair, and this is from Utopia here in Wisconsin, Indie Dyer, and then my blue is Arkansas Yarn Co.
I love that.
And I had sent her a piece of my mohair to come up with this colorway. So
yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think that I have more whips than I have had in a long time, because I have been basically doing a lot of stress knitting. I'm homeschooling 3 children.
And you still have all your hair. And it's still the right color.
It's kind of fading a little bit. I need to re-dye, but...
They've been really relatively, I think the kids, yours and my family's, relatively well so far. There's been a few meltdowns, but overall they've done really well for what's going on.
Yeah. So. We'll talk about that in the indie bits, but yeah. Okay. My next project, I'm gonna kind of do 2 in 1, if that's okay.
Go for it.
So my next project. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff in this bag that I should have sorted this out before we started recording, but I didn't. So you guys know I'm doing the barn raising quilts, barn raising square quilt. I don't know, whatever it's called.
Something like that.
So I finished this square since we podcasted. I had
like a rainbow.
A day of sitting on my bed doing nothing because my husband and my kids were playing Xbox. So I did that. And then I had I had more yarn left over, and this one I finished a while ago, this square, and I had all this yarn left over. And I love this yarn. It's from Kim, and she's my best friend, and I love her. So I decided to use that yarn and do a mitered square blanket.
That green is, but that green is so pretty.
So now I not only have a barn raising square, I also have a mitered square blanket going. So this is this square, this is this square, and I am currently doing this one. That's all tangled up in all my yarn. This one.
Ooh, that one's gonna be pretty too.
It reminds me of a mouse. Not exactly sure why.
That's funny.
So I do have more. I have this much of this color. I have more self-striping yarn somewhere, and this brings me to a plea to our viewers. If anybody knows of a subscription like a yarn subscription that does self-striping yarn, or even like somebody that has a mini pack that is self-striping, please let me know, because I'm doing 2 blankets strictly out of, well, I say 2 blankets, at least one strictly out of self-striping. At least my barn racing squares.
Okay.
Out of self-striping, because I just think that effect is really cool. And this one I'm not making overly big. It's going to be a throw for my couch, but this one I'm making for my bed.
So that one you're going to use whatever scraps you got, right?
Yeah, this one I would like it to be as much self-striping as I can, but I can't be that picky about it. Like, I have to be realistic and know that this is going to take me till I'm 95 as it is. So I can't I can't be that picky about it. So I need to just be a little bit realistic. And like, I will add, like, I'll add this color again. It's here, but you know, I'll save it in my bag and add it later on, not, you know, right next to each other. But so that's what I have. Those are my blankets. Those are my scrappy projects.
All right. I started 2 new projects 2 nights ago, and they're in the same bag, so that's why I'm going to share them together. As you've noticed, the last couple podcasts, hats are my savior. Like, when I just need something quick to get on and off the needles, just to cleanse my palette. So I took some scrap DK, and I'm making this one here. Is going to be the Chrissy hat from the Cozy Up girls. And then, so I have about 4 more rows, and I'll be at 2 inches, and then I'll start the actual patterning. And then this one here, I just literally cast it on, got 2 rows on it, and put it in there. And this will be Nina Phillips's, oh boy.
Central, no.
I think Times Square.
Times Square.
She released that collection right after the sock collection. I had both, and I decided it was time to start using patterns that I've bought previously, because I collect those as well as yarn, guys. So I'm going to go through my collections first of multiples. And Nina's, there's 7 hats. So, and in the Sisters Toques, it's from the 4 Sisters Toques collection, and there's 4, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I have a couple more that are 3, and then I'll start doing my single hats, because there's a lot of patterns I have. So.
Okay.
What's next for you?
So my friend is pregnant with her first child. She is my best friend. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding last year. our husbands are friends. Her baby is going to be yarn bombed. His name is going to be Jameson. He's going to be my nephew, and I'm going to love him very much. Well, anyway.
You're going to love him and squeeze him and call him George.
So this is the beginnings of his first baby blanket. Yes,
oh,
I said
boy.
First. And this is the pine forest baby blanket.
Yes.
I told you so you'd remember, and I couldn't remember. All these stitch markers on here, I'm not sure if you guys can see them, are the repeats of the pattern. It's a free pattern, so I can tell you it's a slip stitch pattern, and I'm doing this many repeats.
Wow.
So this is going to be more like a crib size blanket for him. We do live in Southern California, but he's going to come into this world in September. So while it won't be overly cold, it will be cold enough that I want him to have a nice snuggly blankie. So you will see a lot more presents for him in the near podcast.
Will be. Go ahead.
What it will look like.
Yeah.
Your
No
turn.
thanks. All right.
Right.
All right. Living in my bag I got from my aunt for my birthday last year is what is this called? Sea glass razorback.
I was gonna say razorback. It's sea glass.
Last time, sorry for the needles clanking, guys. Last time you saw this, I was just right here on the back. So I did the entire back, and then I added the two left and right front and joined it in a round. And it's really hard to see right now, but I love this yarn. This was my minion colorway for the podcast last year, from Arkansas Yarn Co. So, and it's on her Super Sparkle. I started making this originally when we made plans to go to Stitches Midwest. Still have my fingers crossed and everything else that we can go, but don't know. So I'm just gonna keep working on it.
I mean, Stitches or not, we've all decided that come hell or high water, we're going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
When this is all over.
Yeah.
So if we go to Schaumburg, Illinois, great. If not, we'll find
each other somewhere else.
Someplace else to go. But I was joking the other night with you guys on Zoom, and I was like, I'm just going to go bounce from house to house to house to house to house. I'm going to stay with Melissa for a bit. I'm going to stay with LaRue for a bit. I'm going to stay with Agatha for a bit. I'm going to just go everywhere. You, Kim, everywhere. That's fine. Because by then, I may not have any hair. So, my next project is my Shardigan. I'm going to hold my needles because they're going to clink. I don't feel like I worked on this since I last podcasted, but Nicci says I have, so we're going to go with it. She's usually right. She usually remembers everything. If I can get it straight.
Else. Not for myself, but you know.
So, I really need to put a marker on. I have separated roller sleeves, as you guys know. And I'm working my way down.
Yeah, I feel like you got like an inch on that before you took off on other things.
The body. I probably did. I know that I am in the second set of decreases. So I probably did. I put it down solely because I was too lazy to wind a new ball of yarn. And there was other projects sitting next to me. So I'm going
That's
to
fun.
pick this up again shortly. So that's the Shruggerian. It's a Cozy Up Knits design. I'm doing out of Soft and Sleek Decay in the Forest Rain colorway, which is a DK weight
Gorgeous.
yarn. So I went up needle sizes and down sweater sizes. I'm still debating about the sleeve length. When I finish the body, the pattern tells you to go to the sleeves before you do the button band, or not the button band, but the what would be the button band and the collar. So at that point, I'll decide, if I'm going to do full length sleeves or 3/4 sleeves. But I have some time. Next.
Right. And my next project is I'm calling it the ZT because I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's, yeah.
It's ZAFTIG by Sheila Toy Stormberg. There's a knit along going for it, but I had decided to make it before then. I am making this out of what I first had started my boxy out of, and I ripped it back out. And this is Knit Picks Cucumber retired yarn that I had gotten in November a couple of years ago. So these are just, I got the shoulder panels, and I just started the back.
Did you get that during their Black Friday sale?
Yes, not this year, last year.
Last year, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put a stitch marker on this now so we know where I was, but I don't get a lot of work on it. Like I said, I just started it. This is another thing that all of us wanted to make together. So I got it on and I just casted it on and got it to where the back was so I could go back and forth. I now have, I think, 12.5 inches, but Heather doesn't have her yarn yet for this one. And Kim was in the middle of other things as well. So I just cast it on to try to clear my mind that day to be able to work on something else.
Yeah, I think we should be ready to do it before next podcast. Yeah. So, my next is a project that Nicci and I are working on together, along with Kim, but I'm doing Secret Paths first.
Okay.
So, this is my Secret Path. I was here, or this little marker, it's not even a marker, it's just a lobster claw, is when I picked it back up. And it's basically the only reason why I picked it back up and did a couple rows is because Nicci and I were going back and forth with how many stitches to do in these popcorns. If you look at this row, it doesn't stand out at all. Like, it just looks like a cluster. And this row has more of a pop.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys can see that. I might be doing this for... Oh, there you go. Now you can.
You can see it right there.
So, it's a free pattern. It's by Joanna Lindahl on Ravelry. She has a lot of patterns. I use the Sheep Cheese Whorls. I can't say that word today. So this is mine. It's out of the indigo fade colorway. I'm not even sure if she still has this color. It's pretty old. I got it as a present from one of my friends. So this is how that goes. And then this is the rest of my cake. I had to cake it up myself.
It's still huge.
And it's still huge, yeah. So I had to cake it up because if anybody has worked with this stuff, you know that pulling from the middle of the ball, it will collapse and be a mess. So, Nicci's.
There's mine. I was up at the stitch marker there that Heather made. Um, and like she said, the bobbles on the yellow part you can see. On the pink, they're virtually non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
So, also there was a knit along for around the table for this. That's why we also picked it back up to support um, one of our local yarn shops now, even though it's not really local to me and Heather. They're doing virtual shopping. So it was really nice to be able to shop with Heather and Kim and have each other to go back and forth for ideas. And then, like, some of us did and bought all of the same colors our friends did.
Mm-hmm. Not
So.
naming any names, Kimberly. Yeah, it was nice. It was a couple. Was it last week? Last Friday? No, the Friday before.
No, it was the week before.
Yeah. So we it was fun. It was like we were at a yarn store together. Like Pam was graciously running back and forth, back and forth to the shop. You know, we would say, "Remember, what was that on that wall? What was that on that wall?" And she would just run back and forth and get everything we were talking about. And she packaged it all up and took it to the post office, and we had it by early the next week.
Yep.
And
they do it every Sunday, Friday, and I think Tuesday.
Yeah,
From noon to 2 in their Zoom room.
Mm-hmm.
So
they are lovely ladies, Beth and Pam, and they're nice, and they're very gracious, and I will support them again. So I bought some stuff to go on the end of that I'll show you later. But our next combined project is for a current.
The bag you started with, the bag I'm ending with for our duo.
This is his baby brother. So right now there's more than one pal going on with Around the Table. The Secret Paths is one of them. They're doing a knitted Odyssey by Joji Locatelli, and we are doing the Crocheted Odyssey by Tony.
Tina Lipsy.
Tina. I want to call her Tony all the time.
Tony. It is Tony, not Tina.
Tony, yeah. I was right.
Yeah, you're right. I keep wanting to say Tina because of Tina Twisted Fibers that they carry.
Yeah, no, she is Tony. I just can't remember her last name.
Lipsy.
So this is mine. This is all four of my colors represented. This is ultraviolet.
They go by color. They go by. I think they are only numbers, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, they have colors, but also their numbers. Like if you go on the Sheepji's website, they're colors. But if you contact Pam, supplier, they only need numbers. Yeah. And honestly, they're the only ones that I know of that have Sheepji's in the U.S.
Yeah. Besides Webs.
Yeah. So this is made out of Sheepji's katana. It is a 100% cotton yarn. This is one of my colors. This is my fourth color. So I'm just going to do this.
I'll just do mine like this. Mine's still in the bags, the ones I haven't used.
Mine are. So this is mine. A, B, C, D.
Very pretty. And we have the same A. Heather both do.
What?
We have the same A.
Yeah, our A's are the same. I feel like I'm channeling my Stephen West in this colors. Very bright and fun. So this is where I am. Did you show your progress? I was yapping too. This is my progress, and that's Nicci's.
Well, that's the wrong side too. So let's not show the ugly side. How about that?
Overachiever.
Well, So the moral of this story is that I was on row 53 and had to completely pull out because I did mine wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Because I'm new to crochet. And then I got to row 25 and had to pull it out again. And then I redid it. And then I was like, oh, well, if I could get 2 color sections done, and that was when I was here in the blue. I got like 2 rows, and I was like, if I get 2 color sections done, in 10 days I could be up to the top where we have other, because it's a class with Kim. And so last night I decided to take off with it and keep going. That's all.
Yeah, but you saying all that doesn't make you look any
slower,
any less an overachiever. Like, yeah. You started twice over again, and you're still that far.
Because I was so far behind that I felt. So I had to catch up and like go beyond, because you guys, let's face it, you and Kim crochet so much faster than me and been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, I've been crocheting for a long time.
And I haven't, so that's why. Any more projects for you?
No, I'm done.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, and then I will show you the rest of what I've got going. All right, everybody. So, my next one is my Christmas bag here, which are my Christmas socks. And the pattern I'm going loosely off of is the birthday shorty socks. But I was down here where the ball was, and so I got up here, and I already put in the string for my afterthought heel here. So got some decent work on there, and that's the yarn for those are from, I always mess up this name.
I can't help you.
West Yorkshire Spinner's Signature. So
okay.
And that was their Christmas colorway. I want to say 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. I had gotten that from one of our friends last year. Then in this bag from 31, which is technically a purse, I have my sunburn. Okay, I'm gonna mess this up. Sunrise, sunburn, sunset pal from Crocheting Hoovian, Laura Concert Designs. So I'm about halfway, and I don't even know if you guys can see the light bulb stitch marker right here. And so that's how much I got done on that. Well, here's some self-striping when I'm done with it. That I can put in the Heather box.
Send it to me.
All right. I'm like trying to stack everything on the other side as I talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I take it from this side and put it on that side.
Yep. All right. And then here, this is a test knit by Carrie-Anne Schremer from Norway. This is a different construction. She said I could talk about it. Honestly, don't know if I'm going to finish this. I just sent her a message this morning about it, but it's a weird construction with this here starts underneath your chest, and then you work down for a lace pattern, and then you work up. And it's just a little cap sleeve tee, and it V's real low and has a very lacy bottom. I really like it. There's like 15 pages of instructions with like, I think there's way too much that is being lost in transition from Norwegian to English.
Is she a native Norwegian?
Yeah, she's from Norway, and there's a lot of words, there's a lot of different charts, so I'm still trying to work it out. I don't know yet how that's going to end. So then All right, I can't move it. There we go. Last time I showed you the Christmas sweater was at the Jingle Bell there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've gotten a few inches on that. So it's my flax, and on mine I put double cables on this sleeve. On both sleeves I put double cables. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
on
you
my
did.
mom's I put on the left sleeve she had a single, and on the other one she had a double. So that's where I was getting confused.
So instead of the garter panel
Yep.
on the sleeves, she did double cables.
Yeah. So there's that. I have 4 more. The long one. Sorry, guys.
Crocheting.
And then on here is an old one, but it is my Birds of a Feather. And I just did a repeat in the mohair is all I got done. But at least a little bit of progress this time.
Did you hear me?
No.
That you're going to send to me when you're done.
No, this is Mom's.
You say that, but...
This is Mom's.
I think you're going to end up stealing it.
Possibly. I don't know. I'm probably by the time I get it done, I'm going to be like, just get this away from me. And then a very old whip from the second year I started knitting is the Elder Tree shawl. So it started up here and it V's down. And this one is one of those free patterns on Ravelry, and it just tells you to go as long as you'd like with whatever size you like. Just do the needles for the size yarn you're working on. I am holding marbled yarn. So this was the yarn I got 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm holding that together with a thread of this brown that I got for my cousin throughout the whole thing.
Wow.
So I think I did 2 leaf repeats in that, and I think I want to do like 4 more, and then I'm going to start to close it off. So I should put a stitch marker on that. But see, we're not going back and forth. I can't do that at the moment.
I'll remind you later.
This is my bits and bobs, and I got some on it, that work done on it. I don't know where my stitch progress keeper is at the moment. I'm trying to find it. There it is. There's your star. So I was down here, and I got about that much. So, and again, I can't even get it all in frame, guys, because I decided to upscale this to like 380 stitches.
That's by KF Jones?
Yes. And again, that one I'm holding with a different cone in teal, and then I made these wonderful magic knot balls to go with it.
That's your second or third?
This is still my first, and that one I made a second one up just so that I was ready.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's all the yarn that I received from all of my friends in mini swaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to make a couple more because like now that I've used some on my cozy memories, whatever's left I'm using on that. Not cozy memories.
Not cozy memories.
You're making cozy. I'm making.
Excuse me.
The stitch time. Because I do not want a heavy blanket on my lap after the bits and bobs. And then I ran out of project bags that were big enough for this, so this is my Stephen West, my third Stephen West on the needles right now. And this is his painted bricks that came out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not stop working on it this weekend. So.
Yeah, I am 2 hours behind Nicci. So Friday night, we were knitting. I went to bed at like, I think it was like 11 my time, maybe 12 my time. I woke up at like 8:39, and I messaged her, and she's like, yeah, come on, we can knit. And I was like, all right, fine, okay, I'll go on for a little bit. And she tells me that she didn't go to bed until 6 a.m., and then woke up again at 9.
Yep.
I was like, okay, so I got off at 2.
I had all intentions of going to bed that night.
You stayed up 3 additional hours, and then woke up at 9. So now she's trying to convince me to pull an all-nighter with her Saturday night. I'm old. I don't know if I can do this.
Last 3 Saturdays, like, I have not gone to bed until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I was up. Yeah, about that. This last weekend, though, I did get to sleep until like 11. My body finally was like, okay, you can sleep.
Sunday, not Saturday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if you've known me for a while, you know, like Heather has, I've never had good luck with sleeping.
No.
And then I had just got it to where I was at least getting 6 hours, and then everything happened.
But my point was not necessarily about your sleep. My point was because you were knitting that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, now it's just been knitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll keep you updated if I make it all night Saturday. Stay tuned.
Faith in you.
I don't know.
So we have purchases and then general chit chat, I guess.
I think we should pause for a moment and come back for the next segment. Welcome back to our last segment. We're going to talk about the books that we're reading / listening to, and our last minute chit chat. Oh no, purchases, and then our last minute chit chat. So I am currently listening to 3 books and reading 1, but my read book is upstairs. So
I'm listening to. Trying to find it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3.
Okay, so we'll go
back and forth.
My reading book is upstairs, and I can't think what it's called. I'll post it in the thread. It's something Morgan Crow.
I'm reading the bullet journal.
Oh, you're reading by writer Carol?
Yeah.
I like him. I follow him on Instagram. Anyway, so the first one I am listening to is Hooked on Murder by Betty Hetchman. It is the first in the series. They're just calling it a crochet cozy mystery. Okay. It's the first one in her series.
The first one I'm listening to right now is The Mortal Instruments, Book 6, and it's the City of Heavenly Fire. And I'm kind of sad because that means my series is over after this one.
Yeah, she had a full-on pity party. I said, you can listen to it again. It's not going away. It's just the last one.
Yep. I don't like when series ends. It upsets me.
How many you're listening to it on Libby, right?
Yeah.
How much into it are you?
26%.
Yeah, so for Hooked on Murder, I'm 61% of the way done. And then my next book I'm listening to is Strawberry Shortcake Murder. It is the Hannah Swenson murder mystery series by Joanne Fluke. This is the second one in the series, and I am 32% of the way in.
My next one is A Year to Organize Your Life by Regina Leeds. I didn't check the percentage. I know that I'm like the third chapter. Mm-hmm. And this one's going to take me a little bit longer because I'm breaking it down in, like, I listened through January, so now I'm doing like that kind of stuff that she talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then either I'll renew it or I'll just wait and check it out again because I want to do it in the order that they're doing it because I'd like to get more organized this year. So.
Okay, and my last one that I'm listening to is, like I mentioned earlier, A Whole New World. It is the Twisted Tales. It's the first one in that series. Basically, this author, her name is Liz Braswell, has taken Disney stories and flipped them. So, like, this one is basically, what if Aladdin didn't get the lamp? It's based on Aladdin and Jasmine, and the next one I think in the series is the next one. Yeah, so the next one is Once Upon a Dream. So it's things like that's Sleeping Beauty.
Yep.
So yeah, she's just taken Disney stories and twisted them. What if this didn't happen? What if that didn't happen? And they're just really interesting, and I love Disney movies. I grew up watching the princess movies, and yeah. So
that's and my last one I'm listening to is Mongolia Story, which is Chip Gaines and his wife out of Texas who have they did have a TLC show. And they did all the like restorations of houses and design that way. Because like Heather said last time, I listen to a long line. I don't stick with one genre. So I do like to do some of the audio biographies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Have you finished any since April? Any books?
Yeah. So, all my books are on Libby. So I finished the first one, Chocolate Chip Murder, the first one from Joanne Fluke. And I finished a reading book. It was called Lilac Girls. It's based. It's like World War II time period.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I finished A Year of Less by Kate Flanders, a vlogger, and it was that she had took a year and decided to save more and basically give away over 90% of her belongings and stop shopping and save for her 401k. So I did that one. I listened to these. I didn't read any of these. A Whole New World, which is what you're listening to now. And then Scrappy Little Nobody, which was about and wrote by Andra Kendrick. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to hear her about Hollywood and everything else. It was good.
Yeah, I want to read that or listen to that. Does she read it?
Yeah, she reads it. It's really funny.
Yeah, so I like when they read their own books.
Yeah, Bobby, he's in radio. But I finished some of his too, and he reads his own, and he was funny in his. I just can't remember them right now. And
I feel like
everything for me is on
read it
Goodreads.
the way that they read it the way that they write it, like
Right.
with their emphasis and like, yeah. And I'm gonna actually, speaking of Goodreads, I'm gonna update the post that I made on the chatter thread to include our Goodreads accounts.
Oh yeah, I forgot to even add mine on there.
So if you guys want to follow us, friend us, and see what we're reading.
Yeah, it's Bobby Bones. That's who it was that I read his.
All right, so we're into shopping. Like we said, we went to a couple Fridays ago. Around the Table Yarns had a virtual shopping experience, and both Nicci and I and Kim shopped, and some other people were there. But so we got all of our yarns for our kits came from there. We got 4 of our main color and 2 of each of our accent colors.
Correct.
So that was a substantial amount of yarn there. And then, do you want to?
Sure. Then I also purchased this whirl. Is it a whirl?
Yeah.
Yeah, a whirl by Sheepsies, and then I got a whirlette in the yellow colorway to go with this. This is Dandelion, it was called, and then just their yellow. So that's the other purchases.
Can you hold that still for a second?
Okay, I'll take it out of the bag because it's.
Because the colors on the outside are really pretty. Yeah, so it goes from like a yellow to a yellow and white, and then on the outside it goes into purples.
Black.
A bit. Black? Oh, I thought it was purple.
Nope.
Oh. I think the one that I'm thinking is Banana Pie. Oh my. Banana Pie goes into purple.
Right. So that's what I got.
So for me, I went a little more. So I have, you saw this, this is my cake for my secret paths. And it ends in white. So I don't know if you guys can see that. And Kim made the secret paths and she kept going, excuse me, and realized that when she had gotten to the point where she needs to do the border, she ran out of yarn. So she advised me to get a whirlette to add to the end. So I'm going to end it white. So I'm going to go as far as this will let me into the white, and then I will finish another repeat. It's like wherever I am in the repeat, I'll finish that repeat and then go into the border because I should have plenty of yarn for that. And then there's another Joanna Lindahl shawl that I want to make. It's called something time.
I have it saved.
I don't know. Nicci knows what it's called. So I got this one that is called Blackberry Mint Chip for that. And it starts with a deep purple, goes into blue, kind of like a tealy green. And then on the outside is kind of like this huntery green. And same situation. I wasn't sure if I was going to need more. So while I was there, I decided to add this to my cart too. It's a whirlette. And this is in the color Mango.
I'm going to try to show this.
Like a Dijon. Yeah, that's it. What's it called?
This is Lost in Time.
Lost in Time. I told you it has something to do with time. So that is what I'm going to do. When I finish my
camera. Sorry, guys.
When I finish my secret paths, I'm going to start this one. And then I am on the self-striping yarn kick, as you guys know. And so they have query fiber at the shop. And I've knit with query before. Kim has sent me some minis in query, and I love it. It's really soft. Their color saturation is great. Their color definition is great. There's no, bleeding from color to color. I love their yarn. So it is a bit, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's a bit pricey, but
It's about the same for all.
it's about the same. I just feel like it's more of a luxury, I guess.
More of a treat yourself.
More of a treat, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So this is hot cocoa. In the hot cocoa colorway, it's 75.25, and there's 463 yards on this skein, and it is dark browns, grays, whites, and red. Hector says it looks like Christmas, which it might, but whatever, it's mine. And he's trying to beg me to see if I have enough yarn to make myself a pair of socks and him a pair of socks.
Yikes.
But I don't know. I don't know if I want to give him some of my query because I have to put it in 2 blankets.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of I can't talk. Future knits, there we go. With the Lost in Time, when I get one of the 3 Stephen West off my needles, I plan to put on the Splashing Tides
by Stephen West.
Yep. And then I plan on shopping either this week Friday or next week Friday. I don't know which one yet. Back at the Around the Table Yarns for the study throw, the color study throw, and sheep G's as well. In there, I think it's a DK or maybe a worsted, but it's a really pretty throw. It's geometric, and Kim's gonna do it. I think
squares?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's worsted.
And then the Rainbow Connection socks, I would like to get on the needles at some point.
Yeah. So yeah, my future knits is the ZT that Nikki showed. I'm also going to do the painted bricks. I am receiving as a present the minis to be the colors, but I need to get my solid color. I think I'm going to go with black. That's the ZT. I am making it longer. I'm not doing the crop.
So am I.
I can't.
Nobody wants to see all of that.
I can't do that. So I'm going to do that, and then yeah, I'm not going to finish my secret paths by the next time I see you guys, but I will have those 2 things on the needles, probably.
I'm trying to pull up a picture of the color throw, but
I need to get my what's that thing called? My weekender back out and work on that some, because I'm just the sleeves.
And here's the throw that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So her shop is going to do kits for that as well. And I plan on getting one because it comes with the book for that pattern.
Right.
So that's all I have for you guys this time.
I think that's all I got too. It was a long one. We say that's all, but it was a long one. Real talk. We talked for a long time.
Real talk, it was a long time. I still haven't seen my stepson in a month and a half. So it's hard. Enjoy the time you do get with your family. But yeah, stay safe, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we haven't is my husband is still going to work. He still has to leave the house. And when shelter in place happened, he was with his mother, and nobody at their household has to go to work outside of the house. They all work from home now until this is over. So we deemed it safer for him there with nobody coming in and out of the house. Me and my grandmother haven't left since March 7th. And I don't see it coming anytime soon that we get to. And like Heather, I have the last baby comes for us on Wednesday next week. So you'll probably see lots of baby knits on the following podcast for me, because that cousin chose not to find out what they were having. So I haven't been able to make a single thing prior. And then I found out my nephew is expecting his first child. So there will be one more baby at the end of the year. For us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, we're trying to hang in there. It's spring break currently for my kids. Our governor announced that we're going to be off for the remainder of the academic school year. And then our school board superintendent came on almost 2 weeks later, maybe a week later, and was like, I can't, adjust what the governor said, but all I can say is that the amount of instructional hours, will be increased. They won't be learning at school, they'll be learning at home. So that was really hard for my older son to take. That day was pretty hard for him. He is a very social kid. Very social kid. He needs that social stimulation from people. He needs to be constantly talking to people. He is constantly making noise of some kind. So he needs that. And I give all of the praise and thanks to his teacher, because she has opened her own Zoom room. And they do need a password to get in, but she has it open whenever. So if 2, 3, 4 kids want to jump on and just hang out with each other, that's open. That's available for them to do. She does do classes with them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But other than that, he's pretty much on his own. So, I had a rough day last Thursday when the realization came that I am, teaching my younger son how to read. My older son is 4th grade magnet student, and my daughter is freshman in high school. So it's like I have every end of that
level.
Spectrum. Yeah, that I am trying my best to get them through and prepared for the next year, because I don't know what's going to happen. So all I can do is just try and get them prepared and hope for the best.
On that note, we will see you all in 2 weeks, and hope you all have a healthy, safe knitting and crocheting or crafting.
Yeah.
So, bye.
Bye. Happy knitting.